In my opinion, the people who willingly decide and choose to be alone are some of the most powerful, most incredible people in modern society. However, there are terrifying, beautiful truths behind these people, which I'm going to break down and explain in this video. And speaking of finding and seeking your truth, you need to join my community, the No Bullshit Society, where we come together and share ideas, wisdom, and so much more based on our personal truth, not on bullshit. The link is in the description and the pinned comment down below. We are raised to be very social creatures, especially if you are from a community and a culture like mine, the Mediterranean culture, the Asian culture, etc. But forget cultures. We're supposed to be social. We're crammed into the same room together to be at school together, at university, then we're crammed into the same office, and even if we work remotely, we've got to go online and talk to people. Then we've got to date, and we've got to have friends, and we've got to do X, Y, and Z. As somebody myself who was a chronic people pleaser, and somebody who was basically a socialite, what does that mean? Someone who was out all the time. Someone who couldn't be on his own. Someone who would always have to be around the energy of people. Seriously, I would always have a mental breakdown if I wasn't socializing, if I wasn't stepping out of my home and doing something. And it got so bad that when I was single, if I had no friends to meet up with or no dates or whatever, I'd just go pop in and see family. Oh, just, pop in and see how you are. It wasn't because I wanted to see them. It wasn't because I wanted to socialize. Instead, it was because I was afraid of being alone. And then I faced my demon. I finally faced being alone. It came after walking away from a toxic relationship. It came round about the time of the lockdowns and everything in 2020. And, my dad tragically died as well. So I was grieving. I was single. We were locked down. There was nothing to do, nowhere to go, no one to see. So I faced my fears. I faced being alone. And do you know what? I loved it. I loved every moment of it. I loved having the freedom to decide and think for myself. I loved the freedom of not having to conform to ideas. I loved having the ability to say, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to say. And lastly, I loved not having to pander to people and their bullshit. Of course, there are good people in my life and in the world as well. There are like-minded people. They're in the No Bullshit Society, my community. But at the same time, choosing to be alone was like going against everything I was raised for. Going against everything I stood for. Going against just my core principles that my parents raised me, that my culture, and so much more. And here's the thing. I didn't ruin my life. I didn't get depressed. My life didn't go to shit. It actually got better. So then when I stepped back into society, when I walked amongst people again, when I socialized, when I started a date, I became very, very confident, assertive, and selective. I was confident in knowing exactly who I was because I faced my truth. The longer you are alone, the more you realize and recognize who you are and who you're not if you do the work. I was assertive because I preferred my own company. If there was some bullshit event or something or some idiot that wanted to see me or waste my time, I'd say, do you know what? I'm cool because nothing beats being alone and having my own time. And of course, I had the confidence to know that this was the right path for me. And since moving on and actually getting engaged and meeting the love of my life, we incorporate those boundaries together. We actually spend time alone from each other in the relationship. And as a couple, we spend time alone from people as well. We're cut from the same cloth. We're not hermits as such, but we love our own company and our own space. And the terrifying truths behind the people who choose to do this is they are not conformists, they are unique, they are special, and they are powerful. Let's now break down exactly why that's the case. Firstly, and this should come as no surprise, is these people are no longer controlled by approval. When you choose solitude over socializing, you stop bending the knee as such for validation. You stop breaking your back for attention. You stop chasing other people. But it doesn't make sense, you might say. But I'm just stuck between these four walls. Or you're in your own fortress of solitude, of your own creation, where you're at peace. Would you not choose peace over stress and anxiety? Yeah, but I need to see people. I don't see people often. What does that mean, need to see people? Why? What's going to happen if you don't? You're going to become this socially abstract, idiotic person? Or will you be calmer, happier, and more selective? You see, when we bend and beg for validation, when we seek that approval, our anxiety and our stress levels immediately increase. We are begging them to like us, begging them to accept us, begging them to see us for not for who we really are, but who we fit in their ideas. See, if somebody says, well, you're X, Y, and Z, and they are stubborn, stupid, and arrogant, and they are superficial, they're not going to see you for the intelligent, depthful person that you really are, and the value you provide. So that makes you also unpredictable, and people fear what they can't control. When people stop calling and asking you to do X, Y, and Z, you're unpredictable because they say, well, you're not reliable. That's a good thing. That means you don't run at everyone's beck and call. You're unpredictable because at one moment, at any time, you could just get up and walk out of a room, an environment, a relationship, a family dynamic, a country even, because you don't need them. That's the terrifying truth. And by the way, the terrifying truth is not for you. It's for society. It's for everybody else who doesn't understand you and doesn't choose to understand you as well. Also, these people have seen through the illusion of modern connection with people. They know that most friendships are shallow. They know family is just the title. That most conversations are fake. And most circles, most of these interactions with these people are built on convenience. Not long ago, I fell out with a friend and I never saw it coming. But it was the best thing that ever happened because I recognized and I realized that it was based on convenience. They didn't want to see me. They only wanted to see me when they were free. They only wanted to do things that they wanted to do. And the moment it got deep, the moment it required non-superficial improvements and so much more, they ghosted, they fled, and I never heard back. And even I reached out and offered an olive branch and they broke it. So these people who choose to be alone would rather face silence than surround themselves with noise disguised as family. Noise disguised as friendship. Noise disguised as love. The ironic thing here is connection can happen still. But when it does happen, it normally happens with like-minded people who think and feel the same. Notice how I said when I was engaged, well, I am engaged obviously, to the love of my life. That's quite a bold statement. I'm getting married to this person. I'm choosing to do it. Why? Because our connection is the most unique and powerful I've ever had with any other human being. We come from different backgrounds, walk of life, and so on, but we are connected. And we share naturally the same morals and values, unspoken. But I don't have that with family, unfortunately, or certain friends, or most people. In a no bullshit society, we all speak the same language because we're on the same page. And that's terrifying because these people will never have, not the people who choose to be alone, but the people who don't get you or get them, they'll never ever understand what a connection really is and never have one. The people who choose to be alone are also building their own power in the shadows. Time alone is never wasted. It's actually invested. This is where it gets misconstrued. Whilst others distract themselves with drama, gossip, scrolling, social media, Netflix, these people sharpen their mind, vision, and strength. The greatest thing I ever did when I walked away from a toxic relationship back in late 2019 was I invested my time into learning. And back then, YouTube was a library of resources, information to make me understand narcissistic relationships, breakups, and so much more. Hence what inspired me to coach and share my messages with people today. So I didn't waste my time feeling sorry for myself. I invested my time, as do these other people, in learning and getting better. When you step back into society, into a circle, into a dynamic with people, you're never the same. And that terrifies people who stay stagnant. Think of that friend who I recently had that falling out with. They flatlined. They thought they were growing. They thought they were improving. They said they were investing in X, Y, and Z. When in actual fact, they were stagnant. And not to be arrogant, but I left them behind leaps and bounds in every department, mentally, emotionally, even on a relationship basis. Because for every moment that's wasted doing bullshit, I invested it in figuring out who the hell I was in the shadows, in the dark, whilst being alone. The most terrifying truth of them all about the people who choose to be alone is they are extremely hard to manipulate. I've seen this with coaching clients and people in my personal life who I've spoken to, and even with me. People get very angry and frustrated with me when they can't sell me a service, a product, or get me to do a favor, because I can't be guilt tripped most of the time. I see the bullshit and I can't be manipulated. Because the person who's comfortable alone can't be bribed with even money or attention. They can't be shamed with loneliness or controlled by fear of abandonment. You'll get all these threats. We'll never invite you. Okay, don't do so. Ironically, they'll still invite you. And when you do go, if you go, you'll be the life of the party. Not that you need to. And then you'll leave because you don't really give a shit. They'll bribe you with empty threats. It's all bullshit. That level of independence makes 99% of other people very, very nervous, because it exposes how dependent they really are. And I'm not just talking about dependent on people. They're dependent on out-of-date, abstract, shallow, superficial, unfulfilling ideas. Well, I have to make an effort. It's my family. Well, I've got to go out. I can't be a recluse. Well, I've got to earn their attention because they're better than me. You start thinking and acting like that bullshit, and you are nosediving into a life of misery and hell. But if you're harder to manipulate, you're like, okay, don't invite me. I'm happy at home. Okay, leave me. I'll just make new friends. Okay, I won't be alone, because being alone and loneliness are two very, very separate things. Now, in the odd case that you do feel alone, I want to share these ideas and understand this better and find instant connection with like-minded people. You've got to join my community, the No Bullshit Society. The link's in the description and pinned comment down below. You will see and notice and recognize a level of people that you've looked for your entire life. Join today. So yeah, those are the terrifying truths of the people who choose to be alone. Remember, that's the key word. Choose to be alone. That means you're selective. That means you have standards in a world that's truly got no standards whatsoever. Are you sick and tired of feeling stuck in life or being weighed down by endless struggles? Maybe you're exhausted from being walked all over, or tired of never having boundaries, or not saying no, walking away, or stuck in toxic cycles and situations. Well, imagine breaking free from all of that, feeling powerful and totally in control of your life. When you work with me, there's no BS, no fluff, just real, personal transformation. Now, you've seen my journey on YouTube.
about the power of walking away from the wrong people, overcoming addiction, handling grief, empowering myself from being rock bottom. But this isn't about me. This is not my story. This is your story. Imagine having a life on your terms, having a healthier, better relationship, being able to overcome your struggles and actually be at peace and taste happiness, maybe for the first time ever in your life. Now, other coaches fail when it comes to getting real results because they offer you generic advice that is not catered to you. It's a one-size-fits-all program and it's a load of BS. But I'm different. I listen to you. I take notes. I ask the deep questions and personalize and cater to your needs to take you from where you are now to where you truly want to be. And it's a lot easier and simpler than you think. So here's what I want you to do. If you are genuinely serious about change and personal transformation, book a free discovery call right now down below. And also check out the testimonials from real people and real success stories of men and even women who've turned their lives around thanks to me. There are only limited spots available, to take advantage of this now. And it's only for serious people who are serious about change. So let's not delay. Let's not keep you where you are now, stuck in the same cycles, the same routines for another year. Let's work together and break free together and live life finally on your terms.